Okay, guys, so we're ready to go. So take it away, Bill Walston.
All right, guys. So tonight, what I want to do is talk to you a little bit about how to use Facebook strategies for real estate investors. And what we're going to do is talk about why use Facebook. Talk a little bit about what Facebook lead ads are. And a lot of people haven't heard of those. They know about Facebook advertising, but Facebook lead ads is a very specific type of advertising, and it works really, really well, especially for people who are going to be on mobile devices. And we'll talk about why that is. We'll talk about market targeting. We'll take a look at some typical ads that you can use and your lead strategy, and then we're going to give you a special opportunity to work with me and Sharon. Okay, but first of all, who are these people? Now, most of you probably know the two of us, but I'm going to give you a mercifully short intro. Sharon Vornholt is a marketing expert. Frankly, guys, she is probably one of the best marketing strategists and branding strategists that I know. She's a blogger. Many of you've read her real estate blog. I didn't put in here that she's also has a podcast that is very, very reputable. A lot of people listen to it. It's really popular. And most importantly, she is a real estate investor. As for me, I'm a business and tax strategist of over 3 decades. I like to refer to myself as a reformed CPA. I had my own CPA practice for a while. It didn't take long for me to see that the profits were on the other side of the desk with my real estate investors. Most of my clients were either agents or real estate investors. And that's where the money was, guys. So I sold out my part of my practice and walked away from that thinking I would never do anything in taxes again. And boy, was I fooled. I still get to do tax strategy, but that's what I really like, the strategy part, not necessarily the paper part. I'm also an author and a coach, and most importantly for both Sharon and myself, we are both real estate investors, so we know where you guys are coming from. We talk about stuff that's actually working and stuff that we do in our practices every day. And one thing that you got to know, Sharon, you know this is important. We talk about it all the time. To make money in real estate, you need one very important thing: leads.
Leads.
Okay, got to have leads, guys. And Sharon and I both will say that you're not just in the real estate business; you're in the marketing business. Okay,
Yes.
Real estate happens to be your, I don't want to call it a product, okay, but you could look at it that way. That's what you're marketing. That's what you're in the business of, but you're actually doing the marketing business, all right? And your job as a CEO of your own real estate investing business is to find deals and raise money, however that might be. Sharon and I talk about the fact that you need to have at least 5 lead channels going on. One is just not going to cut it. Things change so quickly that it's very difficult to keep up unless you've got 5 consistent lead channels going at all times. Okay, and we both talk about direct mail and those other types. That's one of the very best lead channels that we think that there is. The old way, though, of marketing, and before Sharon drops a safe on my head, I'm going to talk about that. Remember, you used to go around and get a mailing list, right, Sharon? We all, whatever that list might be.
And some of us still do that.
Right. Well, I do too. All right. And I'll talk about that in a minute. But the old standard was the absentee owner list, right? Remember, everybody says, oh, that's the best list, the absentee owner list. All right. And then we spent time creating the mailing piece and sending it out. But it was a shotgun approach. You know, when we sent that absentee owner list out, we didn't know who it was going to go to, who was going to get the list, whether they were interested in selling their property or not, because it wasn't targeted specifically. It was only for people who didn't live in the house, right? It wasn't like a foreclosure list or your favorite, a probate list, where we knew exactly what that target market was. It's more of a shotgun approach. And you know that we would deal with low response rates, and it's getting lower and lower, and irritated recipients a lot of times. You know, I've seen a lot of times when people would get the letter back saying, how did you get my address, or don't mail me anymore,
or worse,
that type of thing. Or worse. All right. Then we had to make hundreds of follow-up calls, and we ended up being the annoying pest and chasing people down. Okay, The new way that we would like to talk about is no more dealing with lists and mailings unless you want to. Okay, no more chasing down sellers, no more dealing with people who don't want to work with you, and no more being the annoying pest. All right, so let's go ahead and get the elephant in the room out of the way. I'm going to talk a little bit about what I jokingly called this afternoon when I was talking to Sharon the direct mail killer, and she said, "You want to die, don't you?"
Yeah, I told him that's going to be a short conversation. That's going to be a short conversation.
All right. It's not actually that, all right, but it can be in addition to direct mail that you might be doing. I think you really should still be doing direct mail for probates, direct mail for foreclosures. But I'm moving away from the idea of doing direct mail for just absentee owners where we don't have any idea whatsoever what they may or may not be interested in. And so that's why I want to talk about how to find some leads on Facebook. And when I say leads, I'm talking about buyer leads, seller leads, and even leads for private money. So the lead really doesn't matter which particular type of lead that you're looking at. So why Facebook? Okay, guys, Facebook has more than 2 billion active users. 2 billion. And over half of those are on their mobile devices when they're using it. Okay, so they're looking at whatever you post, whatever you put on Facebook, they're looking at it on their phone, right? They have them with them. I have mine right here. Okay, they don't get too far away from them. So people are going to be looking at Facebook on their phone. More than half of those users log in at least once a day. And I am very, very guilty. I know I log on to Facebook more than one time a day.
Well, I can verify that. He's like got the phone super glued to his hand all the time.
And it's not always on Facebook, but a lot of time it is. Okay. More than half the users are out of college, and the fastest growing demographic is 40 plus. Okay, 40 plus. And I can kind of attest to that too, because my dad's 81 years old. Okay. He can't Google, but he can Facebook.
He can Facebook.
He can Facebook. And he got on Facebook to keep up with the grandkids.
Oh, my goodness.
Okay. His grandkids and his great-grandkids now. All right. So he actually has learned to use Facebook on his phone. But if you ask him to look for something on the internet, or you talk to him about finding something by Googling it, he has no idea what we're talking about. And he's a sharp man. He just doesn't do that.
He doesn't do it.
All right. So his internet is Facebook. So guys, we might as well be going where the people are. Okay, and Facebook is one of those places. Irrespective of what's going on with Facebook right now, with in all the news and the privacy problems and all that kind of stuff, I don't see Facebook diminishing in use anytime soon. Okay, all right. So some benefits of Facebook marketing is very fast. Okay, when we were talking earlier about the old way, you had to get your email list, you had to get it sorted, you had to do your mailing piece, you had to mail it out. That wasn't real fast. You can have ads up and running very, very quickly, all right, in a matter of hours. And excuse me, if you do these a whole lot, you can have them up in a matter of minutes if you've got ads already in the pipeline that you're planning on using, because it's just like doing a Facebook post. Okay, it's very low budget. You can get started with $10 a day. All right, it's very scalable. Okay, and you can reinvest the profits and do more deals if you find an ad that's running really, really well, and you can monitor that ad and you can see whether you're getting responses to that ad or not. Then you reinvest and you move your budget up accordingly. Okay, but you can always be testing and seeing what your return on that investment is going to be, and you get really quick results. You can see results in days, not months. Okay, and you aren't going to get all those results back at one time like we do with our marketing. You know, you send your marketing out and you just kind of sit back and wait for it to happen, right? With Facebook, you can kind of monitor that a little better. So what we're going to be talking about tonight is called Facebook lead ads, and it's a very specific type of marketing, and you may have already seen these and not even known it. All right, I happened to be going through Facebook on my phone earlier this afternoon, and I saw something that was really interesting, and I clicked on it, I didn't look to see that it was a sponsored. You know, usually you can tell that it's an ad because it says sponsored on there. Sharon, I know you've seen them, right?
Yeah.
But I clicked on the thing, and lo and behold, as soon as I clicked on it, I knew it. I said, dang, Facebook lead ad. I knew it just as soon as I clicked on it, because I could do what that ad wanted me to in just a matter of clicks. Okay, with a Facebook lead ad, you click on it, all right, and it goes to a submission form, and a lot of times that submission form will have a place for the name, their email address, maybe their phone number. But what's interesting about it is all that stuff is already there. If they click on that ad, Facebook populates the form with their information that they have already willingly given to Facebook. But it's just a name and an email address.
You know what's so interesting about this? 5 years ago, people would have backed out of that when that box popped up. But now everybody is used to putting their name and address into forms.
Right.
So they're not going to think twice about it. But you're right. It's genius that Facebook populates it,
but Facebook makes it so easy. They don't have to type anything in. They just kind of look at it, and then they say, oh, great, okay. Right? So it's already there. And notice here on the form, it says subscribe. You can see it, use my pointer here. You can say learn more, download form, or what have you. It could be a lead magnet. It could be for them to leave information about how to get in touch with them. It could be information about their property, right? But they click the button. They check and verify that the information requested is correct. They hit submit. And then they see this little checkbox that says success. Right? That's it. Three easy steps. And I fell right into it this afternoon, right? When I took a look at it. And honestly, you know, it's like when you start paying attention to something, you see more and more of it. And I guess since I was getting ready to talk about lead ads, I was more conscious of the fact that, and it was like, oh my God, all right, there's like 10 lead ad forms in my news feed today. Okay, so Facebook lead ads allows potential customers to access your offers without ever leaving the Facebook app. That's another nice thing about it. This is huge, guys, especially for mobile users. Okay, because remember remember when Facebook first came out and you got the mobile app and you could go into it, but if there were any ads there, if you had any interest in that ad whatsoever and you clicked on it, it tried to go out and it'd say open in Chrome, open in Safari, or what have you, right? And so it would take you outside of Facebook, okay? Facebook lead ads keeps you inside of Facebook.
Which is their sole intent.
That is huge.
Yes.
Okay, now the other thing is, if Facebook has a choice of showing an ad to somebody, which one do you think they're going to show? Are they going to show one that keeps them within Facebook, or are they going to show one that takes them outside of Facebook?
Yeah,
right?
Inside.
They're going to try to do the inside. So this is really huge, especially for mobile users. And it's wonderful for my dad, right? Because he never has to get outside of Facebook. Right? Works really, really well.
He probably doesn't even know how lucky he is.
He does not. Okay, so what happens after they hit submit, right? They know that they got that little success button, right? But what happens as far as we are concerned is the lead can go to our email address. In fact, what will happen is that name, let's say you ask for name and email address only, first name and email address. That info can be emailed to you, or it can be sent to your CRM. If you happen to use Podio or some other contact management system, it can be delivered directly to that. So it's building your list, your prospect list. And there's a quick tip. If you're just starting out, send it to your email address. You don't even have to keep a CRM for this, right? So if you're on a budget, spend your money on the advertising, not on trying to set up Podio or buying the fanciest CRM around, right? They'll just email it to you. Which is
this is a brilliant way to build your list. If you're in any kind of, it doesn't matter what kind of business you're in, but even in real estate, you should always be building a list, because you never know what kind of turn your business is going to take, but this is gigantic for list building. You can offer a
wonderful.
freebie, a free
Yep.
consultation if you're a real estate investor.
Yep.
There are you just really need to sit down and brainstorm a million ways you can use this.
Oh, private money, you could do a report on how to earn the highest rate of return with private money. If you are a buyer, right? If you're looking for a property, or you're looking for tenant buyers, maybe do a little report on why they should rent and then buy.
Right.
How can they get financing? You can do a multitude of things, or you can just put in there, hey, I'm selling a house, or if you're interested in selling your house, give me your name and number. I buy houses type thing.
Yeah.
Right? It's really, really nice. And huge. All right. So what are some benefits? I've already talked about some, but I'll reiterate some of them here. You don't have to worry about creating a website. A lot of people worry about, well, I don't know what to put on my seller website. I don't know what to put on my buyer website. Use your website for branding. This is one of the things that Sharon covers at REI Marketing Mastery. He talks about how to do branding. All right. But a lot of people are still wondering about how to do that. With lead ads, you don't even have to worry about doing a converting website, right? Because you're getting the leads right within Facebook. Your prospect never leaves Facebook, so it's easy for them to submit the information. Just like Sharon said, years ago, they wouldn't have done that. Now, it's just a click. Oh, yeah, it's already there. Click the button.
Yeah,
right?
They don't think twice about it.
Right? Their email addresses automatically show up on your form. Right? So if your form is asking for their email address, or if it's asking for their first name, it populates immediately, so they don't have to type anything in. Right? And guys, I'll tell you too, another thing I'm finding is you're getting real email addresses. Right? Because they've shared their real email address with Facebook.
Yeah.
Right?
No more fake email addresses.
Facebook is sharing it with you. All right. Now, you can ask for more information than just a name and an email address. You can do a whole form of things that it will send to you, but you don't want to overcomplicate it. So I would say, in this case, less is more, and you don't want to ask for a lot of additional information. But when you're designing your ads and things like that, that's when you'll decide what type of information you're going to want to collect. Okay. So the typical investor marketing campaign, as it used to be, right? You'd buy a huge list from a list broker. You'd spend hours trying to get it ready. You'd create and coordinate your marketing piece, and then you'd spend thousands of dollars to send the mail pieces out, right? Because Sharon will tell you, sending 500 pieces of mail just isn't going to get it these days. Just not going to do it, right?
Not enough.
So you can spend thousands of dollars on a mailing, okay? Or, okay, what you don't need with Facebook is that lead management system. You don't need a huge list. You don't need a mailing piece. You're just going to design an ad. And you don't even need a website. Okay, now, not saying that you shouldn't have a website, right? Because there are numerous reasons that you should, but you don't have to use it to collect leads. I'll put it that way. Maybe that's a better way to say it before Sharon shoots me.
Well, no, I think I do. I think we talk about this at the event too. What Bill is doing is really laying down one really good strategy, and we kid about direct mail a lot. Direct mail is still a strategy, but this is a game changer. And when you are doing your 3 to 5 strategies, this should definitely be one of them. And this is something that anybody can do.
Absolutely can, right? And Sharon's exactly right. We are in no way saying that, or I am in no way saying that you should not do direct mail. I think your direct mail should be very targeted. And I probably will not do direct mail for absentee owners anymore. I will do direct mail for probates. I will do direct mail for master lease option deals, which I dearly love. Right? And direct mail is one of the best ways to get those. Okay, but as a business owner, you need to be taking a look at your return on investment and spending your ad dollars, because I know they're tight, right? Spend your ad dollars where it's going to get you the best rate of return, right? All right, so let's go into a little bit further and talk some about targeting your market. That's what I really, really like about Facebook, because one of the problems that we talked about with that absentee owner list, that's your only target, right? You choose the area that you want to invest in. of course. So it's going to be city or state or what have you, right? And then maybe the zip code, and then you ask for absentee owners in that particular target market, right? But that's the most targeting that you can do. With Facebook, you can do two types of targeting. One is the geographic, which is what I just talked about, and the other is demographic. Okay, demographic is more about interests, age group, homeowner or non-homeowner, income level. Those are different types of demographics. Okay, and those are the types of targeting that you can do with Facebook. So for an example, geographic, you might say, I want to reach people in a specific zip code. Okay, that's geographic targeting. And when you go in and set an ad up, these are the types of things that it will ask you about. It'll say, what type of audience are you trying to reach? Okay, and you can do it by location. And in this particular case, you might say, I want to reach people in 37601 zip code, or whatever zip code you may choose. You can choose a city, you can choose a state, but most often as real estate investors, we choose zip codes. And we even buy our mailing list by zip code in a lot of cases. So that's geographic, and we're all used to that. But demographic goes a little further. What if you wanted to reach the people who were between the ages of 35 and 65 in that particular zip code, right? We're still talking about the geographic zip code, okay? And we've narrowed our list. In this example, we've narrowed it down to 1,400 people, okay? And then what is really nice about Facebook is the interest section, where it comes down here and says what types of interest we're looking for. Okay, did you know Facebook keeps up with the different types of ads that you see, the types of ads that you click on? It even, and this Zuckerberg even said that this happened, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is that when you leave Facebook and you click on those ads and it takes you out of Facebook, Facebook knows where you're going. Okay, now it doesn't track you there or trace you down and all that kind of stuff, but it does keep up with where you're going. And guys, Facebook wasn't the first who did this. Google does the same thing. Okay, if you ever click on an ad on Google, I guarantee you will see that ad everywhere for at least another week or so. Okay, just happens that way. All right, but suppose you put in as interest, you said, I want to reach people who've talked about cash out refinancing. They're trying to get money out of their property. Or I want to reach people who have looked for real estate appraisals. Or I want to reach people who've been going out to Zillow and checking the value of their property. Notice that we can actually go down and narrow down our target market. And we have a bunch of interest that we use for that. And when we work with folks at our RE Marketing Strategies, REI Marketing Mastery, working on this particular strategy, we talk about some of those interests and say, what interest would your audience be looking for? Like private money people. They might be the ones who've gone out and looked at bond rates, or they're interested in loan values, those types of things. So you can put these interests in, and what Facebook will do is pull in all the people in that zip code who meet those interests. So you have a very, very targeted market.
Yeah, one thing I'd like to add here too is, when I teach branding and you're creating your ideal customer avatar, there are always things that you wish you knew before Facebook. That would be things like if you were, let's say you owned a gun shop, or you were going to teach a shooting class, you would want to know things that had to do, like you said, with people that clicked on guns. Mm-hmm. What magazines do they read? What sites do they visit? That was really impossible to know before Facebook, those kinds of details about people. You can get a lot of information today from list brokers, but not this type of demographic stuff.
Right. And so the thing too that you can see is that you know, everybody's talking about privacy, and Facebook knows so much about us. Those are just common interest, right? They just are talking about the types of sites and what type of interest you might be showing and what type of interest you have. And guys, we can sit around and we can moan and groan and talk about how bad Facebook is about doing that, or we as investors can take advantage of the fact that Facebook knows this. It's not telling us who those people who the people are that they show the ad to.
Right.
Right? We don't know that. We just know that it's reaching that class of people.
Right.
So it's not giving us a big list that says, oh, Sharon went to this site and Bill went to this site. He rented this movie and all this kind of, you know, it's not telling you that or telling us that specific information. What it's doing is saying we're showing your ad to this group of people. And then when they see the ad, they have the option to either click on the ad for more information or not click on the ad for more information, right? So we don't get to see that information that Facebook shows them, right? So, hey, I'm going to use it while the using is good, right? So if you're doing an ad, some things that we really like to do is personalize the ad to the area, right? So if you are going to be doing an ad for the 37601 zip code, what I would do is use a local picture. I might be in that area and take some pictures and use that picture in my ad. That's the nice thing about it. We can create these ads. We don't even have to go to a printer and have them printed up or anything like that. We just take a picture and put it in Facebook as part of the ad. So you want to use local pictures, use curiosity type language, you know, like Bill buys houses, or you know, ask a question at the very beginning of the ad or something like that. That's a lot of the stuff that we get into a lot more detail when we're working with people on their marketing plan. But those are some things that you want to keep in mind. Keep it simple. Think bandit signs, right? And that's kind of what you're doing. You know, they've got to be quick, to the point, and get the information that you're looking for, right? So here's a sample ad that I saw, and you can tell that it's been localized, and I happened to come across this in Facebook, and this guy, I know his name is Jason, right? It was a sponsored ad, so he's running this ad as part of his marketing program. And notice it says, curious how much I can offer? No obligation. Just click learn more button.
Question, right? Yeah, start it out with a question.
Simple. All right, and you know that this picture was part of his target market. And then he just superimposed Jason buys houses in whatever the area is. All right, and then he puts in, I'm looking to buy a house in this zip code. Can you sell me yours? And then the learn more button here, if we clicked on this particular button, right, it would probably go and it would populate with my name on it, and I could hit that submit, and I'm sure Jason would probably be calling me and trying to tell me more about what he does.
I'm sure he would.
Okay, so if you're going to run these types of ads, here's what you can expect. Once you put an ad up, it's going to start showing within an hour. Okay, Facebook has an approval process, especially now with all the privacy things. They want to make sure that your ad meets all its standards. You can use a small budget of $10 to $20 a day to get started. And if you run your ad in the morning, you can have 4 or 5 leads by the end of the day. Just that quick. All right, think of what the ROI is. Remember, it's still just a lead.
Still, you don't know if it's a good lead, but it's like every other lead.
Yet it's just like when you send out all that direct mail, you don't know how many responses you're going to get back. But I will tell you what, you know, most of the time, stuff from Facebook, they're pretty interested if they click on that submit button, right? Okay. The other nice thing about Facebook is it continuously optimizes your campaigns. Okay, so the more people that see your ad and the more people who click on that ad, okay, remember Facebook monitors that, and they'll look at this ad, and let's say that I ran an ad and Sharon clicked on it and Steve clicked on it and Donna clicked on it, right? Facebook would say, oh, okay, so I want to show this ad to more people like Sharon, and I want to show this ad to more people like Steve. Right? So what happens is Facebook narrows it down to more what they call a look-alike audience.
Mm.
And what that means is that those people are more apt to click, because if they're like Sharon and Sharon was interested in this ad and she clicked on it, then people who are like her will probably click on it too. All right, which means that the cost of your leads is going to start going down, really, as Facebook continuously optimizes your campaign. So that's really kind of cool. So
That's
the best
very
part
cool.
is, yeah, the best part is you don't have to spend thousands of dollars. Okay, you can start $10 and test, and you get consistent leads on a daily basis instead of fluctuations. Remember, we send out direct mail pieces, we kind of sit back and we might get 4 or 5 responses today, and 3 or 4 days later we might get some more responses, right? It was up and down fluctuations. With a Facebook lead ad, you are more likely to get consistent leads on a daily basis. Right? Now, that number is going to fluctuate, but it's not like you're going to get a lead today and then 3 or 4 more days before you ever get another lead. Generally, you're going to get leads on a consistent basis. The other nice part about it, you can pause and restart that ad based on your budget. So let's say that you're starting with $10 a day and your budget for the week is $50, right? At the end of the week, you can pause the ad. Okay, then you can start it back up next week using the same ad, okay, using the same dollar amount, and whatever you want to spend that week. Okay, once you've spent that amount, you pause your ad again. Don't stop it, you pause it, right? And then you can keep going up and down. All right, the other thing you can do, you can pause it based on the number of leads you're generating. Let's say that you got 25 leads one day and you say, oh my God, how am I going to call all these people back?
That's a terrible problem.
What a problem to have. But the thing about it is you can say, all right, I'm going to stop, or I'm going to pause this ad until I have a chance to catch up. Okay, so you're not consistently putting more into that pipeline yet, right? And then as you catch up, right, then you start your ad back up again. You start generating leads back up again. So it's really, really good. You can't do that if you send out 1,000 direct mail pieces. You can't decide how many calls you're going to get, how many leads you're going to get. With this, you can, which I find really fascinating in a way, but it's really, really good. Okay, so in less than 24 hours, you can be up and running, producing leads in your target market. And guys, if you start implementing this particular strategy, you are probably going to be ahead of 95% of other real estate investors, because not many people are doing this right now. Not on the real estate side. A lot of people are using Facebook ads, but not a lot of people are using them in order to generate real estate leads. So we kind of like be on the cutting edge of that, you know? Which is a good place to be. Now, as I promised, we're going to give you an opportunity. I don't want to disappoint you. So I told you earlier we were going to give you an opportunity to actually work with me and Sharon. We've been talking about REI Marketing Mastery. Many of you have heard of it. If you haven't, you will now. What we'd like to do is give you an invitation to join us at REI Marketing Mastery. This is an event that Sharon and I started a few years ago, and basically we started it because it wasn't around. You know, this wasn't something that people were doing. We had a lot of events where people would teach you a strategy, right? An investing strategy like wholesaling or whatever, but there was nobody out there that we could find who was teaching you how to actually market and helping you build a marketing plan that's going to do what? Generate leads, which is what you have to have a good investing business. All right. So this event we started a few years ago. We have it in Nashville. This one is going to be the last one for this year, unless Sharon sneaks up on me and says, "Oh, let's have another one by the end of the year." And I don't think we're going to do that.
No, I don't. That's not going to happen this year.
So this is probably going to be the last one for this year. Guys, we've had a lot of different people, a lot of different types of investors go through. Our event is not strategy oriented, right? It's for everybody. Everybody needs a marketing plan. We've had wholesalers come. We've had flippers come. We've had buy and hold folks come, right? I think we've even had some real estate agents sneak in once in a while, haven't we, Sharon?
We've had agents, and we had some people that had a multi-million-dollar business, but they were They were looking to learn how to get leads, off-market deals.
Yep.
And which I said, why are you here? Well, we just realized we're leaving a ton of money on the table. So
Right.
they were smart enough, even with their huge business, to know they needed to learn this.
Right. Okay. And there's a reason that we've had all these different types of folks come, and that's because we make it very practical. All right. We teach strategies that we use. Okay. So we're not just saying, hey guys, this is something we learned like 30 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Right. It's what we are using today to build our own businesses. Like Facebook leads ads, that wasn't here, a few years ago. Direct mail was still a good strategy, right? But what we do is we take strategies that we know are working, and we insist when people get out of there that they've got at least 4 to 5 lead channels in mind, and then some backup ones that they can use later on. Okay. Because if you don't have leads, your business is dead. Okay. This is not just something where you come and sit and listen to us and take notes and we just sit up there and chatter. Now we can talk. All right. Sharon,
especially Bill talks better than I talk.
Sharon and I do not have any trouble carrying on a conversation. Right. But it's a working event. You will work. Okay. You will get stuff done at this event. Okay. You will design and implement your own marketing plan. When you leave Nashville, you will have a plan, a written plan that you can implement at the event. A lot of people we have go ahead and get started depending on what the strategy is, like Facebook ads. If you wanted to learn how to do Facebook ads, you could build your Facebook ad while you are at this event, get it approved, and get it ready to start before you ever leave Nashville. Okay. And I think one of the best things is that you get your questions answered by us. All right. And I don't know of 2 other places where you could get several years of combined experience.
Several years.
Right. Several years of combined experience.
Like Bill said, this is a small group event. This is not a 50, 100 people in the room thing. It's a small setup. We have a cap rate on it, on the number of people. We like to do like a U-shape when we can, so that people can talk, they can interact, and you will leave there with your marketing plan, because I will be standing over you while you do it, helping you get it done. And she will. So your marketing plan for one person will be entirely different than the next person. It will be partly because your investing strategies are different. Your budget will be different. Bear in mind, you've either got to spend your time or your money, or a combination of both.
Right.
So if you've got little money, then we're going to work with you to see what's the best use of the money you have, and work on some free strategies.
Absolutely. I'm all about free.
So he is. I can vouch for that. So if you've got a full-time job, we have a lot of people that have had full-time jobs, so they don't have a lot of time, but maybe they've got some cash. We're going to talk about outsourcing. We are going to talk about, we will talk about direct mail and the uses for that. But bear in mind, you need 3 to 5 strategies. 4 or 5 is the best. So that's, you're going to leave there with a plan, and that's what really is different than most other events. Yep.
And in addition to that, we have a great networking dinner. Okay. Our favorite restaurant, Darfan's. We've had people who say, hey man, it was worth, coming to the event just to eat at Darfan's.
Well, and I've said we have the event just to go to Darfan's.
And that's true. Right. So maybe we might have to have this again before the end of the year, because I would like to go. Never mind.
No.
Just kidding. Darfan's is really great. Dinner on us usually on Saturday night, I think it is. Okay. And you would have lifetime access to a special Facebook group that Sharon and I both participate in. We still have people who were at the event 3-4 years ago who pop in and ask questions and share stuff. And you will also be able to network with some rock star investors. Like I said, we've got a lot of people who come in. Sharon talked about some of the folks who came in who have a group who own a RIA.
13.
They know what they're doing, right? And we picked up a lot of good ideas from them as well. So it's also a type of mastermind where you get to network.
Yeah.
Some of those folks, right? So I'm sure by now you're asking, what is the investment for such a great event, right? It would have to be huge, right, Sharon? Huge
Yeah,
investment, right?
huge. Yeah.
I
Don't
mean,
don't just
it could be because they get a chance to work with us, right? They get our help in putting together their marketing plan with the strategies. And, guys, I've heard Sharon before look at something and say, that ain't going to work. Why are you even putting that down, right? So we'll tell you what's working, what's not working, okay? And being able to network with those rock star investors and mastermind with them, you would think that investment would be huge, but it's just one payment of $697. Or for this webinar only, you can do 2 payments of $350, right? So you would have that option. Now that disappears Sunday night, I think it is.
Sunday
Right?
night. Yeah, and I didn't really tell you about this, but I added something
Oh,
just
did
for
you?
this webinar. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. It's just kind of a thought that if they sign up by Sunday night, we will each give them a coaching call anytime in the next 12 months. Now that's a $600 value. So you good with that, Bill?
Thank you for that. No, that's fine. I think that's a good idea. That's a great idea. Most of these folks, they stay in touch and stuff. That's a good thing to have, that they can use anytime during the 12 months after the event. A one-on-one coaching call.
One-on-one coaching call.
Right?
Now, bear in mind, you can get on the Facebook at any time and ask us a question.
Right. You will have that Facebook group lifetime access that you can get in and ask questions of, but it's not the same as having that one-on-one where you can really drill down and we can talk about your info specifically. So it's one payment of $697, 2 payments of $350. As Sharon already said, we do work really, really intently together. So we do limit the number of people, and those spots are probably going to fill up really quick. Okay. And not only that, we take the risk, guys. Okay. We have 100% satisfaction guarantee for the first day, right? So if you come to the event and you participate, you do the stuff we're asking you for, you network with the folks there, and you say, this will never work for me, this is not what I thought it was going to be, we would think you were crazy for thinking that. Right? But seriously, we aren't going to say it's for everybody. We don't resonate with everybody. We have our little group that
but we've never had anybody leave.
We've never had anybody leave, but there could always be a first time. And let's say it was you, right? If you let us know by the morning of the second day, we'll give you 100% refund. Right? We stand by our stuff. We think that it is so good, you will get so much value that first day, you wouldn't want to leave. Okay. Besides that, if you, and not only that, I should say, you had dinner.
Yeah, right. You've had not just dinner, a great dinner.
A great dinner. All right. Yes. So guys, if you want to sign up, if you go to billwalston.com/register, you will see this form. Okay, this is the order form where you put in your information. You will see you can select either one payment of $697, or if you want to, you can select 2 payments of $350, right? So it's at billwalston.com/register. And Sharon threw in another thing too. There is a bring a partner at half price, but if you do that, you'll have to go to REI Marketing REIMarketingmastery.com, where the information page is, and down at the bottom where you can select either the 1 payment, the 2 payment, or there's bring your partner for half price.
Yeah.
But if those of you who are not bringing a partner, you know that you're going to do the 1 payment or the 2 payments of $350. Just go to billwalston.com/register, and you won't have to go through clicking all those buttons.
Yeah. Right? So either way, it's a great deal. So we don't make you come in with some kind of proof that it's an actual business partner. They take your word at that, of course. A business partner, spouse, somebody, that you think you might be a partner with, it's okay with us. So bring a partner. It's always more fun that way. We do have a couple of questions here, Bill.
Hold on just a minute. Let's do this. Well, I guess we can leave this up.
You can leave that up, I think. You can leave it up.
Yeah, let's do that. Okay. What's the questions? You're talking about Steve asked a question.
Okay, yeah. Have you got them up there?
Yep, I've got some.
Okay.
Steve says he does not have a website. When he tries to pull an ad on Facebook, they want my website privacy policy, but I don't have a website. Steve, we need to check that. Have you tried Facebook lead ads? Because I'm not sure that they ask for a website privacy policy. If you are doing a regular Facebook ad, they will. Because remember, the regular Facebook ads that you use will go to a website outside of Facebook.
Facebook.
So Facebook wants to know what your website policy is. Okay, they absolutely do. Okay, because you're moving off of their platform. All right, but with a Facebook lead ad, you're staying inside of Facebook. You're staying in their platform. So they don't need to know what a website policy is because you don't have to have one. All right. So if you haven't been using Facebook lead ads, that's what you're going to want to start using, especially if you don't have a website.
Yeah, now this is, that's a good question though, because I know that on the regular ads, you do need a website, but we'll check that out for sure, because it was my understanding also that you did not need a website, but I can't say that with 100% certainty.
I'm pretty sure that, the ones that I have looked at, the ads that I have built, Facebook did not ask me for a website policy. Now, the only problem with that, and I would have to verify because I've run other types of Facebook ads, so they already had my website policy, so that might be why they didn't ask for it again. But I am pretty certain that if you are doing nothing but Facebook lead ads, that you don't have to have a website policy because you're not leaving Facebook.
Okay, and okay, so yeah, so do you want to go ahead and finish answering? Steve's got a little bit more about some things.
Okay. He says he uses an ethical bribe. Love ethical bribes.
Yeah, we're all about those.
To fill out info to see how much their house is worth. And you can still do that, Steve. Basically what you would do is on the submission form, you would have a couple of that information. You may not even have to give them the bribe, okay? But you can still offer them the bribe. It says you want to do Facebook ads, digital bandit signs. I love that. That's exactly what you need to think like. It is a digital bandit sign.
Right.
Okay.
But to a very targeted audience.
Right. And you will get your message out in tons of people, but it will be targeted tons of people. And you also don't have to worry about code enforcement. You're absolutely right. Good point. Steve, we'll get back with you on that. Shoot an email to either me or Sharon, one or the other, and we'll try to follow up and make sure that we've got that question answered definitively for you. I'm almost certain that I'm right, but I have been wrong on one occasion, and and I want to verify. I want to verify before I tell you.
I like to give you a hard way to go, especially when there's other people here. So
that's fine. And Tammy, hey Tammy.
Hey Tammy.
May I ask about hiring employees? How does that work at tax time?
And yeah, I mentioned we're getting ready to hire. Well, let me clarify that.
Okay, Sharon, you take that one because I'm not using it.
I have an answer for that one. So in my other business for 17 years, I had what I called people to feed. So I was responsible for getting the work, and they were independent contractors, but I felt this huge responsibility to get them to make sure they had money. Now, with that being said, I made a conscious decision when I went to real estate full-time 10 years ago that I wasn't having any employees. So I have some 1099 people. I use a lot of virtual assistants. Some are in other countries. I've got people that I've hired off of Fiverr that I use over and over and over. Like I have two, they call them gigs going on right now. One is with my podcast gal. She's Gina in Britain, and I use her for that. I've got another gal that is just awesome for graphics. So when you do that, what I tell my CPA at the end of the year is I give him the independent contractor amount, and I say I can break it down by Philippines, Britain. I can do that. I don't know how. There's no way to 1099 someone in New Zealand. So he handles it. If you got a smart CPA, he's going to know he's going to know how to do it. But yes, I do regret not outsourcing little stuff right from the beginning. If you go on to Upwork, you can find awesome virtual assistants that know real estate for not a lot of money. You can get list scrubbing done. There are Facebook ads people if that's not your strength. You can get somebody to create a pretty graphic. So I use Fiverr, I use Upwork, and I've got a couple places like that I use pretty much almost every day. So Bill, what's your take on the tax time? I mean, my CPA, I just say it's this amount, and they're all over these different countries. And I don't know what he does, truthfully, but he does.
Well, and that's the thing too. If you pay people over $600, you're supposed to generate a 1099 for them, but that's only for people who fall under our U.S. tax codes.
Yes.
Right? So if you're talking about people outside of our country, then you don't have to worry about generating a 1099 for them.
Yep.
Okay. Only if they pay U.S. taxes do you have to generate a 1099 for them.
Yeah.
Okay, but like you said, you have to keep a running track of it. Usually there's documentation. You got PayPal stuff, invoices and stuff like that to back up your deduction.
Right, and I pay. That's a good point. So everybody that I pay through PayPal. Even when I go to Fiverr, I've got it set up so that it goes to my company PayPal. So if I ever did get asked for that, even for my virtual assistants, they're not full-time, but the ones I use every single week that are they were in the Philippines, but now they're in New Zealand. So there is a record of every one of those PayPal transactions. When I work through Upwork, I make sure it goes through PayPal. And for the reason Bill said, if they ever come back and say, which they never have, well, I need some kind of proof of what you did, then it will say right there, you paid this person in New Zealand, you paid this person in Britain, this amount of money. Mm-hmm. So it's really simple.
It is. Okay, Diane says, do you recommend a business Facebook page? Yes, I do.
Yes.
Okay, I have a personal page, but have been using it very little for real estate so far. Should I expand it to a real estate marketing page as well? Okay, Diane, here's the thing. Generally, if you're going to run Facebook ads, you really need to run them from a business page. Okay, just because you don't always want to mix the business and the personal together. Right? You can actually set up what we call a Facebook business page under your own name.
Right.
I've done that. Sharon's done that. Mm-hmm. And honestly, for all intents and purposes, if you do a post from that Facebook business page, it goes into people's news feed and it looks just like it's coming from you as an individual, right? Because you can have it as your name, right? And you can even use the same picture that you do for your profile. But I definitely recommend that you have they used to call them fan pages. I guess now they call them just business pages.
Yeah.
Right. But you just go up in your personal profile and in the corner you click and it says create page.
Page under your name. Yeah. Brand your name and then put your business name if you want to under it.
Yeah.
But you can share, like, let's say you're doing a rehab, or I see Scott Mitchell in here. So let's say Scott's driving by a house and he takes a picture of a really ugly house. So right now I know Scott posted on his personal page, but here's what you can do with that. You can post that picture on your business page and then you can share that either secondarily, you can share it from that page, which you can do that, but I like to post it separately so it doesn't seem like you're lazy. Right. But you can share it from one page to the other. And when you're doing that, you can here's the benefit. When you start out, you've got to build your audience on your business page. So you can use ethical bribes, Steve, and say, hey, I'm always thinking, if you go over to my brand new business page, and I've got an awesome freebie just for you over there for signing up, for liking my page.
Yep.
So if you're of the ethical bribe mindset like we are, you can give value and get them to like your page. So you have to start building that all over again, but there's no 5,000 person cap on your business page either.
Correct. And that's the other thing. If people join your page or friend you, all right, they do a friend request,
Mhm.
you can actually send them a message that says, I'm not accepting friend request, or I'm tapped out on my friend
Mhm.
request, but like my page because I share all this free information over there.
Mhm.
Okay, it works out really well.
Yeah.
In fact, this is one of the things that we help people with at the event. We will cover how we set up our business pages, what type of profile you need to use, what type of information needs to go on the page, how you tie a freebie into that page. That could be a part of your marketing plan
Mhm.
that you want to develop while you're at the event that we would be able to help you with.
Yeah, you can set it up right while you're there.
Okay. Diana, I hope that helped. Steve again says he was trying to use lead ads on Facebook. Steve, as far as I know, you should be able to use lead ads on Facebook even without a website, because that's one of the things they say, that you don't need a website in order to do lead ads. It could be that when you were setting these up, instead of doing it for leads, you did it for conversions or something like that, in which case they would ask for the website policy, because they don't consider that to be this type of lead ad. So it could be the way that you were setting it up.
Yeah, we will check into that though,
We
and
definitely will.
because Bill and I both have we have a website, so it didn't come up. Quite frankly, it didn't come up.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Tammy, you're welcome for the information. Scott, hey buddy. He's been seeing these digital bandit signs on Facebook. Absolutely. And this is how they work. They're really, really cool.
Mm-hmm. And by the way, Scott's been to the Nashville event.
He has indeed.
Tammy, we have not seen you there. Steve, you need to come to Nashville.
Steve says, if I need a website to do a lead ads on Facebook, do you recommend anyone for getting real estate? Yes, absolutely. You need to hit Sharon up. She's got some ties to
I do.
On Carrot,
Mm-hmm.
right?
That's what I use.
The best real estate investing websites around. All right, and they are really, really good to work with. They will be as involved with you as you need to be. They'll even write articles. You can pull their articles in, or you can just have a basic website. All right, so it's what you need at that particular time. But On Carrot is the best source, and if you hit Sharon up, she can give you a link to that.
Yeah.
And in touch with the right people.
Yeah, I'll give you a link. And here's the thing about that. You can really, they're done for you websites. So you order your website, you pay for a month, and then, you can get the basic plans about $50 a month, or you can get what I really recommend as soon as you can get is the Content Pro plan. And the reason is, and this is another thing we're going to cover in detail, something different at the REI Marketing Mastery, is how you can make your ads stand out from the other ads with simple video and video strategies. But they have, you can basically order your website, type in your name, your address, the phone number you want to use for your business, and don't use your own cell phone number, by the way.
Oh,
and then put in the area where you work, like I put Louisville, Kentucky area, and then it goes through the whole website and it populates it all out for you. It's really simple. You do not have to be a real geeky person to do this. And they have tutorials in the back end of it, which are drop dead easy. And when I can't find the right tutorial, they have chat up during business hours, and you can say, hey, I'm an idiot, I can't find this, and they'll send you the link to the topic you need. So they have great customer service.
Cool. They're really good guys too. Sharon and I both know Trevor, and have known him for a while. He was a real estate investor before.
He still is.
Yeah, still is. Before he moved over into On Carrot, right? And so I guess I mentioned that basically because he knows what investors need as far as their website goes. Okay. Yep. Like he knows websites like we know marketing and branding.
Right. Right.
And he does what works. You know, he knows the SEO and all that kind of stuff. Can't recommend him more highly. Okay, guys, any other questions?
We got anything else? So I had somebody emailed me a question. Let me see here. Okay. Steve, if you go over to the page Bill has got up right there, or you can go to reimarketingmastery.com or send me an email and I'll send you the link. So the event is May 19th and 20th in Nashville, and we have a special room rate. It's going to be at the Hyatt Place, Nashville Airport. So if you're driving, it's an easy, in and out. If you're flying, which we typically have quite a few people that fly in, the hotel is 4 miles from the airport, and they have a shuttle, so you do not need a car. And then when we go to dinner and things like that, of course, we use the shuttle, and Bill and I also have our cars, so to take any overflow. So there's no transportation, but if you want to check out the hotel, it's the Hyatt Place, Nashville Airport. And we do have a room block there, which expires next week, I think.
Yeah.
So it expires in like a week or 8 or 9 days. We got it extended, but there is a drop dead date for the special price, and then you'll be able to get a room, but you won't be able to get the discount. So anybody, I'll follow up with that, but anybody that wants that information on the website, hit me up at Sharon. You can see my name so you know how to spell it, Sharon@SharonVornholt.com, and I will get that information to you. The website guy, Tammy, let me send you a link, because if they got any, send me something tomorrow on Facebook or at Sharon@SharonVornholt.com. It's on Carrot, but if you go through my link, if they have any specials going on that I don't know about, you'll get the special price. And the event, Steve, is 2 days. It's a weekend, so it's a Saturday, Sunday. So you would need to come in Friday night, but some people leave Sunday night. We end up around 5 o'clock both days, somewhere around there.
No, Sunday
probably a little bit earlier.
Yes, Sunday we usually wrap up a little earlier because people do need to catch flights if they need to get out on Sunday evening. We hope that you won't take like a 12 o'clock
yeah,
flight,
you'll miss a
flight or something on Sunday and miss stuff.
But I think
that there are a few people there who schedule flights like 3 o'clock or later, because we're so close to the airport that it doesn't take them long to get there.
Yeah, so if you could even get a flight out at 7 or 8, and it's most places where people would be coming from would be an hour or two at most, then you would actually get to see the whole event.
Right.
So I had a question. Let's see here. Okay, the question was...
Kevin says, what Saturday and Sunday dates? It's May
19th and 20th.
19th and 20th.
May 19th and 20th.
So like Sharon said, we usually recommend that folks come in on the Friday
night.
So that would be like the 18th. You stay Friday, Saturday night, out on Sunday.
Or Monday, whatever works.
Nashville's a great place. One of the reasons we like it, not only for Darfons, is because it's really a great place if you can schedule it, come in a day early, leave a day late or something like that in order to do some sightseeing and stuff like that. It's really a nice town. Yeah,
and it's an easy commute almost no matter from where you're coming from.
Right.
So, Bill, someone sent a question in a little bit earlier. They emailed it to me. When you were talking about the form for the Facebook leads ads, you suggested first name and email. So the question was, would it reduce people's signups if you had the last name because this person wanted the last name?
Actually, I don't think it will, because remember, Facebook populates.
Okay.
So if you want first name, last name, email address, it's going to be there. And if they don't want you to have their last name, they're just going to have to go up and take it out. Most of them are not. So it lowers that friction a lot.
Yeah.
Okay. And if your ad is structured correctly and the person is really interested in selling you their house or buying a house from you, or getting information on private money, that type of thing, they aren't going to mind really giving you their last name. Okay. Also, there's one last thing I had that I totally forgot to mention. I was going to tell you to remind me about this, but I just reminded myself. We're going to talk about something that is really cutting edge called IP marketing. Oh, yeah.
What this is, I'm going to give you the short version. I'm going to tell you where go into it at the event. So if any of you on here have been before, we're going to have some new stuff this
There's
time.
a lot of new stuff this time.
Come because I want you to think about it this way. It's a way to increase your marketing. So let's say that you're going to send out direct mail to whatever niche, and you upload your list to this particular mail company, and they'll determine what day your mailing is going to go out. Let's say it's a week from Monday, or a week and a half. The week before your mail piece is going to go out, they will start, they run your list through a database, and they find out what your IP address is. They have a 65% match rate. So imagine this, that I'm going to send Scott Mitchell or Tammy or any one of these people, send you a direct mail piece, and I've run your name through this database, and then it gives me back your IP address. So the week prior to when your mail is received and the week after they get your mail piece, guess what happens? A banner ad shows up that says Bill buys houses, or Sharon buys houses, or whatever your message is that your mail piece is about. There's a banner ad that follows them around on Facebook, Google, anywhere they go. It's not a Facebook thing or a Google thing. It's just that I'm going to follow you on the internet and quietly show you my ad. It's one of the coolest things, that is one of the most cutting edge things that I have ever come across, and it's affordable. It is very affordable.
It's really cool.
I'm anxious to tell you about that.
Yeah, there's some great new strategies. Well, maybe not strategies, more tactics, right?
Mm-hmm.
That we're going to be presenting at this event. So a lot of it is new stuff that we've just been testing out over the last few months, the last year, right? And we do that because we want to make sure it works before we tell you about it, because we want to tell you what is working today. And this IP marketing and Facebook lead ads, those are cutting edge, and that's what's working today. And people say, oh, well, they've been around for a while. They have, right? But not in the real estate arena, right? I mean, we've had Facebook lead ads on Facebook for a long time, a few years, okay? But they've been in other different areas and not specifically towards real estate, right? So we're moving it towards the real estate market and implementing a lot of these things that have been used in other areas. So it's really, really going to be neat. People who come to this are going to get some straight up stuff. They're going to be, a lot of this is going to be able to be implemented while they're there, because you don't have to be somewhere else to do it. You do it right there from your computer, right? Steve was talking about he didn't want to be driving around, putting out bandit signs and things like that. Dude, this is great because you can do it right from your computer. It doesn't matter where you are. You can do it from Nashville. You can do it from Atlanta. You can do it from the Tennessee mountains. You can do it from Kentucky. It doesn't matter where you are when you're running this type of business. And it's really, really awesome. You can tell we get a little excited about it.
With the internet, things have changed. I heard from a guy today. Some of you may remember, if you read my blog, I wrote a post, probably back about 6 months ago, maybe 9 months ago, about postcard sending apps. And this person had been regularly, when they were driving for dollars, they would snap a picture of the house and then send that person a postcard. Cost them $1.50 to $2. So this is not a mass strategy. It's I'm going to do 5 or 10 of these a month, or however many.
Sure.
But they were talking about the results they got, so much better than a generic postcard, when they sent them a postcard that said, hey, Bill, and Bill's house is on the other side of the postcard. Yep. I was driving through your neighborhood and wondered if you might want to sell your house. It is a great, great driving for dollars strategy. So, there's no magic button. You still got to do the work, and we're not going to tell you that you're going to be a millionaire after you come to this event. But we are going to guarantee that you're going to learn some cool stuff.
Absolutely. And stuff that you can implement.
Yeah, right away.
Right. And, we said at the very beginning this evening, you need to have 4 to 5 lead channels, right? So we give you as many as we can, and then it's up to you to select the ones that will work for you. And those are the ones that you would put into your marketing plan. Some people might say, man, I am on such a tight budget, I can't do $10 a day. for Facebook lead ads. In that case, what you do is you start using the free stuff,
Mhm.
start closing some deals, earning some money, and putting that money into ads. But I will tell you, anybody who can afford to do a direct mail campaign can afford to do Facebook lead ads.
Mhm. Well, and you
Okay.
can, you can spend what you can spend. That's the beauty of Facebook. If you've got $30 a week to spend, you can spend that or whatever. But
Right.
you start where you are, and then but you always got to have a vision of where you want to go. And that's one thing that we're good at helping people do is start
Get the
where you
vision.
are and get the vision. You got to have the big picture vision, but you got to have a roadmap to get from step A to B to C.
Right.
So,
And what Sharon said was excellent, right? About if you only have $30 a week to spend, right?
mhm.
People say, and that's one of the biggest things, Sharon, that I think I've heard about direct mail. Well, I can't do direct mail because it costs so much. And it does. You have to
It
mail. I mean,
does.
you can't do a $30 direct mail campaign.
No.
Sorry, guys, just not going to cut it. But you can do $30, say I'm going to do $10 a day, run your ad for 3 days and pause it.
Mhm.
Right? You can do
You
that
can do
with
that.
Facebook lead ads, guys. Right? So there's no excuse for not being able to do some marketing and build your business. Because I'll tell you, if you don't do some marketing, you're not going to have a business.
Well, and think of it this way too. I mean, everybody does the same old, same old. So if you can get a few cutting edge strategies, and if I can drag you as a real estate investor over to the video side and show you how you can stand out in the marketplace by making simple videos, it is truly amazing from a branding perspective what you can do with video, Facebook Live. And I got to tell you, nobody likes the way they look, the way they sound. Somebody maybe 20 and maybe does, although they're picking on themselves just as bad. You just got to get over it. And as I told Bill Walston many years ago, get over it, take the hat off, take the sunglasses
Take off the
sunglasses, and just do it. Now look at him now. He's all there in the light. He's in the light.
Okay.
That's about all I've got. So
standing in the light.
Yeah, standing in the light. So I think I kind of preached a little bit there or something. So anyway, but we hope you'll join us. If you've been before, talk to Bill or me about coming again. We would love to, we would love to buy you a glass of wine for returning to hang out with us, or maybe it's a beer. I know Scott Mitchell's going to be saying, I'm not drinking no wine. No.
We got to train him better.
Well, I know. So
what can we say?
But anyway, we're sorry. We just like to pick on Scott, so we know Scott. So
we love Scott.
Yeah. So anybody has any questions, Bill at BillWalston.com, or my name right up there. I'm not even going to try to spell it for you, but Sharon at SharonVornholt.com. We'll get them answered. Remember that the two-pay runs out on Sunday, and it really does run out on Sunday because there's not enough time to get the two payments in, to get your payments in. The bonuses, the bonus coaching calls, that runs out on Sunday. And what did I leave out, Bill?
Now, I think you pretty well covered it. Right?
Well,
dinner at Darfons. Don't forget, dinner at Darfons.
And we just plain have fun.
We do. We have a good time in the event. Like I said, it's not a lot of us just standing up there talking. We like participation, and we have a good time.
Yes.
We really have a good time.
And we thank you all for giving up your Wednesday evening to come and hang out with us. We do appreciate it.
Okay. Give them just a minute, see if there's another question. I don't think so. I'm going to stop.
Scott says he loves us too. I'm sure that's directed at me, though, more than Bill.
I'm sure it probably is. I'm going to stop sharing my screen here.
Okay, guys, that's about all I got.
That's it for me too.
Okay.
Guys, we really do appreciate it. We know you could have been doing a whole lot of other things and spending time listening to us jabber, but we've had a great time. I think you can tell that we're really excited about the stuff that we do and the stuff that we can share with you guys. It's really affected our bottom line, helped our businesses, and that's why we try to teach it, right? We want you guys to be successful in your businesses.
We just like it.
Yep. All right, guys, that's it for me.
Yeah.
See you guys later.
See you
Thanks
next
again
time.
for being here. We appreciate it. Talk to you soon.
Bye.
Bye.